My name is Alexis Hosea-Abbott. I'm the Regional Advocacy Specialist. I started working at MassBike as a volunteer in 2022 at the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, attending the Joint Transportation Committee as the MassBike rep. That position made me interested in NPOs and regional advocacy across the state. And in my new role as the staff member at MassBike, I met with all the regional planning orgs in the state to learn how they were prioritizing bike infrastructure projects in their communities. From there, I decided to make a bike advocacy directory as a tangible next step to help MPOs connect with their local orgs, but also for you to connect with each other. I hope to continue this work in 2024, but right now let's talk about the directory. Next slide, please. This is a new resource available on our website right now, but it includes 160 bike ped groups and 170 bike shops. I sent this as a draft to our network, and Anna Tang from the Bike League said that she wishes that she had one of these for every state in the country. So I think we're headed in the right direction. As I mentioned before, I met with one-on-one with all the MPOs in the state, and here to explain what an MPO is Jessica Boulanger, a transportation mobility specialist at Northern Middlesex Council of Governments.
Thank you, Alexis. On the slide here, you'll see a map of Massachusetts MPOs. Metropolitan Planning Organizations are federally required governing bodies that have been established to carry out the transportation planning process through an agreement between the governor and our local governments. MPOs represent urbanized areas with populations of over 50,000 people as determined by the US Census. The purpose of an MPO is to facilitate a well-organized transportation planning process and to help the region meet current needs while preparing for future challenges. The transportation staff working at regional planning agencies serve as the staff to the MPO board. Next slide, please. I'd like to cover a few ways that you can get involved with your respective MPO. The first method is to participate. Find out when your MPO meets. They typically meet monthly, and learn about the composition of the group and the decision-making process. The next item is to build relationships. Work with the MPO, advisory committees, local boards, and transportation planning professionals. Building relationships is really critical to advancing projects and ensuring a more representative process. Finally, I'd like to encourage you to familiarize yourself with the certification documents. If there's a project you're interested in, identify the ways that your project relates to the broader regional and state goals that are outlined in their Regional Transportation Plan, Transportation Improvement Program, and the Unified Planning Work Programs. And then I have a call to action for you today. Our MPOs are beginning the process of developing their FY25 TIP process, their TIP documents. Review your respective MPOs and learn how you can participate in the development of that document. Now pass it back to Alexis.
As you can see, MPOs can be powerful tools to organize ourselves in our communities. The MPOs themselves were created in 1973 by US DOT and Congress to uplift local voices. They are the intersection of federal, state, and local funding, local governments, and they are the trustees of federal funding. We are very excited to see that 46% of our MPOs already have bike ped groups, and their biggest strength is already treating bicycles as valid forms of transportation, and one of their biggest challenges is attendance. So if you want to find out if your town is attending their MPO meetings, reach out to them and ask, because they are the key to getting funding for your roadways. If you want to know if your MPO currently has an active bike ped group, you can email me directly or attend our open office hours next week. And again, how are you participating as an advocate? Where do you fit into this ecosystem? Even as simple as writing your city council member or town manager or entering a ticket with the DPW about debris on a bike path, your municipality needs to hear from you, and so does your MPO. I'm going to hand it back to Jessica so she can talk about projects she's doing in her region. You might, if you have more questions about my work, please attend our virtual office hours next week.
Thank you, Alexis. As Alexis said, my name is Jessica Boulanger. I'm a Transportation Mobility Specialist at NEMCOG. We are the Northern Middlesex Council of Governments. I'm also the MARPA representative for the MassDOT Bike and Pedestrian Board. We are the regional planning agency supporting the city of Lowell and our 8 surrounding communities. And in 2022, under the bipartisan infrastructure law, we were awarded an SS4A grant program. And the grant program funds initiatives throughout the state to prevent roadway deaths and serious injuries. NEMCOG was awarded the grant, and as part of the grant process, we'll be developing a regional safety action plan or a Vision Zero plan. Vision Zero is a concept which aims to achieve a roadway system with no fatalities or serious injuries from roadway traffic. The concept started in Sweden and was approved in 1997. Our agency is pleased to be working with WSP. They're the consultant that worked with Sweden to develop their action plan. Vision Zero is a bold initiative focused on shifting transportation planning approaches to a more Vision Zero centered approach, which is a human-centered lens on design safety and accident prevention. In creating this plan, we're positioning our communities to access future funding to implement projects throughout our region through a public commitment and engagement. Although SS4A is a federal program, there's several opportunities and programs available on the state level for transportation projects and bike infrastructure. That's all I have for you today.